Pop quiz, Peter. How many federal agencies are there? Not with Elon.
127 is some figure I read someplace.
No, it's at least, it's like in the range of like 450 to 500.
Are you serious?
There is a claim going around.
There are now 15 cabinet departments. I looked that up after seeing this.
Well, we have this new innovation. I don't know when it came out in the last decades of the concept of an independent agency. And like, I've read the Constitution.
Independent of everything, including the Constitution of the United States. So what you boys are up to now has been attempted, although I must say, not with quite this level of bravado. Not with Elon.
Not with Elon. So I would start by saying I'm not a spokesperson for the Doge, so I'm not going to represent.
I just want to know what you think.
I'm just going to give you my views.
Elon Musk and Vivek are both very capable of speaking for themselves.
Let them speak for Doge. So. So look, number one is, people have taken swings at this in the past. That's certainly true. The factors you described are certainly true. Having said that, there are some differences. And so one is, it's a whole bunch of things to talk about, but one is, there's sort of three, the way to think about it is there's like three threads here. There's headcount, there's spend, and those are related but different, right. Separate threads, and then there's regulations. And then there's an intertwining of the three of them that has become salient as a result of the recent Supreme Court decisions on executive authority and on the so-called Chevron deference.
Right.
So there's been a set of Supreme Court decisions recently in which the power of the executive branch to basically have agencies that promulgate their own regulatory regimes and then staff and spend against those regulatory regimes without, basically being expressly authorized by Congress to do that. Like the Supreme Court, basically just made that decision that now is something that can be used to turn these things off. An argument.
I haven't in all the press. Yeah. I haven't yet noticed that Doge was paying attention to the end of Chevron deference.
Yes, correct.
That you guys have cottoned on to that and intend to make use of it.
Yeah.
That decisions get made by Congress and the President of the United States and not by federal agencies.
Yeah.
That's huge. Congratulations. In fact, let's end the show right now.
So to start with, by the way, I give Vivek a lot of credit on this, and so
Good for him.
Vivek has talked about this publicly, and there's some excellent legal scholars who are around the Doge process who are contributing to this. So like an argument, and I think it's a very serious argument. An argument is if there is an agency that is either itself should not exist, which we'll come back to in a second, or if there's activities at the agency that should not be happening, or there's regulations that the agency is enforcing, there is I think, very strong argument to be made that it is actually necessary for the executive branch to stop doing those things in order to come into compliance with the Supreme Court rulings.
Oh, excellent.
Right.
Oh, excellent.
Which is the opposite.
Oh, excellent.
Which is the opposite valence of what everybody assumes. Right?
Yes,
Which is you're making some radical proactive change. It's like, no, we're doing what we're literally required to do.
You just flipped the burden of evidence, or burden of proof, I should say.
Burden of proof, exactly. Right. And of course, the Chevron, these Supreme Court decisions have had no effect like that up until now. But that's of course because this last administration has had no desire at all.
Right. They wanted a new Supreme Court.
Yeah, exactly. But this administration has the opportunity to do this differently.
Too many?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Outrageous.
I've read the Constitution, and there is no provision in there for an independent agency. By the way, there are executive branch agencies that have their own internal courts.
Yes.
They have their own judges. I've read the Constitution. That's nowhere in there.
Correct.
Right? There's a rumor going around. I don't know if it's true. There's a rumor going around that nobody actually knows the number of federal agencies. That there's no actual individual person who actually knows the answer. One is because there's just so many of them, and there's new ones created every year. But the other is we have all these fuzzy things now. The CFPB is like the canonical example right now. We have these sort of...
CFPB is the Consumer
Finance Protection Board.
Established by Senator Elizabeth Warren.
It's sort of considered Warren's agency, yeah, exactly. And it is nominal, I don't know the exact legal terminology, but it's nominally an independent agency under the supervision of the Federal Reserve.
Right, she wrote the legislation specifically so that no president of the United States could fire the director of the whatever it's called, CFPB.